Did you know that some of the most astonishing structures in history are found in the Bible? Some were built with unimaginable wealth, others mysteriously collapsed, and a few remain unexplained even by modern science. Today, we're diving into the 5 greatest biblical constructions, and the last one on this list will leave you speechless. Ready for a journey through faith, history, and archaeology? Let's begin. 1. Noah's Ark, the ship of faith. Imagine building a massive ship without modern tools. No cranes, no power saws, just wood, calloused hands, and pure faith. That's exactly what Noah did. According to the Bible, in a time of deep corruption on earth, God chose one man for an impossible mission: to build a colossal refuge that would save his family and pairs of every animal species from a global flood. The ark was enormous, about 135 meters long, 22 wide, and 13 high, almost the size of a modern cargo ship. Built entirely of gopher wood, sealed with pitch to withstand the waters, it was a true engineering wonder of the ancient world. But how did Noah accomplish this without advanced tools? How were the animals organized inside? And was there really a flood that covered the mountains? Archaeologists and geologists have found evidence of a massive ancient flood in Mesopotamia. Some even claim to have discovered traces of the ark itself. In 1959, a Turkish pilot spotted a ship-shaped formation near Mount Ararat. Since then, several expeditions have uncovered petrified wood and geological structures resembling a huge vessel. Is it truly Noah's Ark? Science still debates it, but faith, for many, remains unshaken. 2. The Walls of Jericho. When faith shook stone. Now, picture an ancient city surrounded by towering walls so thick they could withstand any army. Then imagine those same walls collapsing, not by weapons but by the sound of trumpets and cries of faith. This is the story of Jericho, one of the oldest cities on earth. The Bible says God instructed the Israelites to march around the city once a day for 6 days and 7 times on the 7th day. Then, when the priests blew their trumpets and the people shouted, the walls came tumbling down. Could that really have happened? In the 1950s, British archaeologist Kathleen Kenyon excavated Jericho and found remains of massive walls that appeared to have collapsed suddenly, not from an attack, but from within. Some scientists suggest an earthquake may have caused it. Jericho sits on a known fault line. But if that's true, how could Joshua and the Israelites have predicted the exact moment it would strike, perfectly timed with the blast of the trumpets? Coincidence? Or divine power? 3. Solomon's Temple, the House of Divine Glory. Well, imagine a structure so magnificent its walls were covered in pure gold, shining with the reflection of the sun. This was Solomon's Temple, the grandest construction ever built in ancient Israel. Solomon, known as the wisest of kings, received a divine mission from his father, David, to build a dwelling place for God. It was constructed on Mount Moriah, the same place where Abraham nearly sacrificed his son Isaac. The stones were carved with precision and assembled without the sound of tools, as God had commanded. Inside, cedar wood from Lebanon, golden cherubim, palm trees, and floral carvings decorated the walls. The Holy of Holies held the Ark of the Covenant, the symbol of God's presence among His people. After 7 years of work, the temple was completed. During the dedication, Solomon prayed, and suddenly, a divine cloud filled the temple, and fire from heaven consumed the offerings. It was a sign that God had accepted His new dwelling place on earth. 4. The Tower of Babel. When pride reached the heavens. Imagine a time when all of humanity spoke one language and shared one purpose: to build a tower so tall it would reach heaven itself. But their ambition, instead of drawing them closer to God, provoked His anger. The people said, "Let's build a tower that reaches the heavens and make a name for ourselves." It was not just a structure. It was a monument to human pride and self-sufficiency. So God intervened, confusing their language so they could no longer understand one another. Picture the chaos. A builder asks for a brick, but his coworker brings him water. Orders are shouted, but no one understands. The project falls apart, and humanity scatters across the earth. From that day, countless languages and cultures were born. Many historians believe the Tower of Babel was inspired by a ziggurat, a stepped pyramid common in Mesopotamia. The most famous is Etemenanke in Babylon, a temple dedicated to the god Marduk, whose name means the house that connects heaven and earth. Could this have been the original Tower of Babel? We may never know, but the resemblance is undeniable. 5. The Second Temple, the symbol of renewal. Now, imagine returning to your homeland after years in exile, only to find your holy temple reduced to ashes. For the Jewish people, it was not the end, but the beginning of a new chapter. After 70 years in Babylonian captivity, the Persian king Cyrus the Great allowed the Jews to return and rebuild the temple. It was smaller and far less luxurious than Solomon's temple. No Ark of the Covenant, no gold-covered walls, yet it became a powerful symbol of faith and restoration. Through the prophet Haggai, God gave a promise. The glory of this latter house will be greater than the former. Centuries later, King Herod the Great expanded and beautified it, turning it into one of the most breathtaking structures of the ancient world. He doubled the size of the temple platform and covered parts with marble and gold, so bright that travelers said it shone like snow under the sun. This temple became the heart of Jewish life, and it was there that Jesus taught, prayed, and prophesied its destruction. In 70 A.D., the Romans invaded Jerusalem and set the temple ablaze. Historical accounts describe molten gold flowing between the stones as the structure collapsed. Today, only the western wall remains, a solemn reminder of both glory and loss. But the story didn't end there. Jesus declared, "Destroy this temple, and I will raise it again in 3 days." He was speaking of a new kind of temple, not made of stone, but of living hearts. So, what are you building in your life? Something for your own glory, or for God's? If your answer is, "Lord, I want to build my life upon you," then type it in the comments and let your faith be known. And if you want to go even deeper into biblical history, watch our next video, where we reveal what life was truly like in ancient Israel, their culture, their daily routines, their faith, and their connection with God. Click the video on your screen, and let's travel back in time together.